Hello and welcome to a special bonus video from MinnMax. I'm Ben Hanson, joined by Jeff Marchiafava.
Hey!
Every once in a while, I think, I want to rewatch something from the gaming industry. Something that caught my eye, something that was interesting that I just haven't seen in a while, and especially when there's a new event to put it in new context.
Right.
And you just finished Jedi Fallen Order.
Correct.
You talked about it in exhaustive detail in the latest episode of the MinnMax Show podcast.
Yes.
But it reminded me, it'd be fun to go back and look at that early footage that LucasArts revealed for Star Wars 1313.
For sure.
The game that was spawned from the live-action TV show, which also, strangely enough, maybe evolved into Mandalorian, just the idea of doing live-action Star Wars TV again. Then they showed it at E3. It was like, hey, next gen, but not really. We can't talk about it yet.
Right.
It's a very weird deal. And then eventually, George Lucas said, okay, put Boba Fett in it. And then, bam, LucasArts was closed and the game was canceled. But I thought it'd be a fun time to, quote, take another look at that.
The perfect time.
Was that really necessary? No.
Boy, this gen's graphics sure were great, weren't they?
Yeah.
I remember the PlayStation 4 generation. It's so weird to see so many generations of Star Wars trying to do Uncharted. Because there's this, there's the Amy Hennig game, and then there was Fallen Order, which had more and more Uncharted elements going through it.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my goodness.
Seems like these should be the other order. Come on, YouTube naming.
Something's not right here. Let's check.
They like the surprises.
Do you think there's any way this could have ran on this generation?
No, not
This is
looking
complete
like this.
BS. This
Yeah.
is not exactly Killzone situation, but it looks pretty good.
Yeah. And it's a...
I mean, this is doable here.
Yeah.
That pop is so weird. It looks pretty stiff, actually, in retrospect. You know what? Yeah, they could have done this on the PS3 generation. The more I think about it,
Right. Yeah, that gunplay is not much fun.
no. All right.
Cargo lane cleared for descent to level 1313.
Catch a deep breath. It'll be the last fresh air you'll get for a while.
Fresh air is overrated.
The character's already more interesting than Cal.
That is sadly true. More personality. But yeah, so was it going to be like a buddy story?
Catch a deep breath. It'll be the last fresh air you'll get for a while.
Right.
Cargo lane cleared for descent to level 1313.
The rings aren't on Coruscant. They're underneath it. It's a long way down. It gets a lot dirtier where we're headed.
The hell is that? You like reaching explosions and city lights.
That's
1313 is the game for you.
It gets dirtier. It does make you wonder how far along it was, though.
For sure. It's a cool environment. I would love to explore Coruscant like that. Get some death sticks on the side. And here's something they released just called Star Wars 1313 Descent to the Underworld. Released on August 23rd, 2012. Little Vidoc, as they say. Remember LucasArts?
We do.
We stand a legend.
Star Wars 1313 is a game about being a bounty hunter in the most dangerous place in the galaxy, 1313. 1313 is this location beneath the surface of Coruscant, and it's where the criminal underworld in the Star Wars galaxy lives.
You think of the surface of Coruscant and you think of the Art Deco, the streamline, always the golden hour. As you head down and you realize, all of the sunlight's going away. It's getting cooler, it's getting darker.
Remember some of the leads on this project went over to Singapore and were working on Metroid Prime 4, the original version of that game before it went to Retro too, which is a weird connection and everything.
Coruscant to 1313 kind of parallels Dante's Inferno, kind of like a literal journey into Star Wars hell.
Continuity designer.
It's like a way that we can take the player from the Star Wars that they know to this completely new world.
Yeah, I just wonder what those characters would have ended up like.
As we go down,
you think they would have been watered down, or what do you mean? Or just visually?
That original connection from
just not great?
But then
on
you
what
have
level?
This whole new layer of just grudge and filth. It's a very mysterious.
Do these
kind of
look like two
environment.
characters you want to?
It has a
Hang out with?
They look fine.
has a
Like, I
little
like
bit of
the
class,
criminal
but
element
you
for
know
sure.
It's all rotten underneath all of that.
We're always very careful to make sure that we're completely authentic to that world, that it makes sense. There is plausibility and reason behind everything that we're doing with it. And when you start thinking of it in those
There's a
terms,
reason
it really does
behind
start
our
to feel
Twi'leks.
like a character in its own right, having its own moods.
In every city, you've got the bad part of town. Well, this is a city that's made up of the bad part of town.
Just drunk aliens
You
on
picture
the
Vegas
street.
Strip. This is the old Vegas kind of approach to a Star Wars city. It's old, it's got a lot of history. It's just not somewhere that you want to be caught in an alley on a Friday night.
Do they have Friday in Star Wars?
On the ceiling, crowbarred into one space. The character of the city is oppressive.
The old
It
upside-down
looms,
city,
and it
which just does
feel
not
like
make any
the weight
sense.
Of all of those other layers running all the way up to the surface is just.
What game is he promoting again? I can't tell, judge from everything on the screen.
The sense that you're being crushed.
Wait
by
for it to
this
explode.
huge impersonal entity that doesn't care whether you live or die.
In the original film, it was very clear who the good guys and the bad guys were, but the characters in our world are definitely more in the gray area in Star Wars that we've not seen before. 1313 is kind of a world where these crime families can exist and definitely thrive under the Empire.
In terms of gameplay, that helps us bring in a lot more threat, pressure, and tension into the game in the moment-to-moment
That hair's so
experience.
2012, bro.
With this dark and dangerous location, we really want the player to have a compelling experience that they haven't seen before. That love and dedication to the world itself is such an important part of the formula, particularly when you're dealing with Star Wars.
Don't shoot your behind-the-scenes stuff with a GoPro.
With the
Extreme
amount
wide
of
angle.
detail that's gone into making this world, we really have only just scratched the surface, and there is going to be a lot more to hear about it in the future.
Oh, that's tragic. Don't end on that note, you guys.
Yeah.
I thought it'd be fun to close this out by looking at the brief glimpse we saw of Amy Hennig's game as well. Just to see the full... Ooh, actually, look at this. This is fun. This is the first glimpse we saw of Jedi Fallen Order. Remember this?
As a studio, our promise to gamers is ultimately gameplay first. We all demand that the game has these huge wow moments that translates really well into the Star Wars universe.
Yeah, they should have turned those on from the beginning.
Deliver
That's
that
right.
Star Wars awe
Yeah. That looks
fans
way
have
cooler.
never seen before.
That's all we saw
Star Wars
of
Galaxy of
Jedi
Heroes
for so
we talk a
long.
lot about.
And this is all we've seen
She is telling her story, and I'm helping
of
you
Amy
to
Hennig's Star
realize
Wars
her
game.
world.
Again,
EA
I don't
has
think that's
some really
feasible
exciting-
on this generation. Well, hey, Jeff Marchiafava, thanks for looking back at some old game footage with me, man.
Yeah, good times.
I hope to do it again in the future. If you enjoy this type of content, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/MinnMax, 2 N's, or our Patreon. We'd appreciate if you check out the different tiers there. If you support us at any level on the Patreon, you get access to the Discord. You can leave comments for the MinnMax Show podcast, which is our flagship podcast. So check it out, everybody. Patreon.com/MinnMax, 2 N's. Bye, everybody. From in-depth game club discussions with the community to live streams every single week, weekly podcasts, exclusive videos, everything under the sun is at patreon.com/MinnMax, 2 N's. Check it out, everybody.